What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Frag Out. My name is Caden, and today we're going to be going over the catastrophe that was the Star Citizen 3.18 patch or update. So if you basically have been living under a rock for the last few days here or haven't been following development, as you can see by the black hole there where Covey Blast is supposed to be on Area 18, the extremely hyped up and anticipated update to Star Citizen update 3.18 launched Friday. Let's see, what would the date have been for that? Friday, March 10th. I think it was late Friday at some point, and it has been a dumpster fire ever since. Whether it be issues preventing people from connecting altogether, like they can't even get into the main menu, issues preventing people from joining lobbies. Once you get into a lobby, not being able to basically interact with anything or do anything, it's been rough. And there's been a lot of frustration on the various different social sites, whether it be Reddit, Twitter, primarily Spectrum though. That's the one I've been following, and people are mad and they're upset, and rightfully so. I mean, it's frustrating, but one thing I want to try to kind of reiterate here as we kind of go through this video is I hate being the person that says, it's an alpha, so you should expect these things, because let's be real, the game's been an alpha for 10 plus years now. So using the alpha card over and over again is getting pretty old for a lot of people, and I get that. I've only been a backer of the game for probably a little over a year now. I don't know the exact date. I think it's been a little over a year since I got into it real heavy. So maybe I'm coming from a more neutral perspective because I haven't been here through a lot of the like previous catastrophes and just the long-term development that has been this game. Um, but when I kind of explain my take on this to people, the best way I try to do it is saying that, I try to go into every game session with very low expectations. I expect to die to a bug, or I expect stuff not to work, so that when they do work, it's that much better, right? It's that much more incredible. Um, but not everybody can kind of put themselves in that kind of headspace, and I get that. But um, the outrage towards CIG, which is Cloud Imperium Games, the studio behind Star Citizen, if you aren't aware, the outrage towards those guys has been unprecedented. I mean, people are furious at Spectrum, and like I said, I mean, I get it to a degree, but um, something else that you guys have to remember when you're considering the just how broken this update's been. 318 brings persistent entity streaming, which we will refer to for the rest of the video as PES. And this is huge tech. This basically means that so if you think of, we're all familiar with servers, right? More or less. Think of each server as what they're calling a shard. What this means is, if say we're on shard 1, if I drop a synergy bottle, say, we're looking at this terminal right here. Say I drop a synergy bottle right here at the terminal, disconnect, come back tomorrow, happen to get on the same shard, that bottle's still going to be there, assuming someone else didn't pick it up. Same thing goes with any object basically throughout the universe. So if I crash a ship on, I don't know, Wayla, and disconnect for the night and rejoin the next day, and again happen to get on the same shard, that ship is still going to be there, providing that nobody's come by and somehow managed to get rid of it. So I say all this to say things don't despawn anymore. So the tech to make that a thing has been pretty huge, I think. Again, it's another thing that Star Citizen does that no other game has touched. So it's it's hard to say, but I say all this to say, you have to keep that in mind when you're considering just how broken the game is currently. There was a lot of back end work done to the game for the 318 update, so I like to kind of consider it that the entirety of the server framework for the game has changed. and they just weren't expecting these issues that have arisen to arise. So, um, to get such a big update like this, which again, I've only been backing for a little over a year and a half, but people in Spectrum have been saying this is possibly the largest update the game's has ever gotten. Um, to get such a large update like this and not expect there to be some pretty serious issues would kind of be a little naive. Um, However, with all of that being said, they have been working to fix the issues pretty well nonstop since the update came out. The game was in a very unplayable state pretty well through the entirety of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then as we came into the week, the what I call the work week, Monday through Friday, things slowly started getting better here and there. For the entirety of the weekend, I couldn't even get into the main menu. And then I believe it was Monday or Tuesday night, I tried getting in and was actually able to get into the main menu. I started having other problems, but I could at least get into the main menu, so that was progress, right? Um, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. It's been kind of all over the place. At the time of recording this, there's more issues back that are keeping you from even being able to get into the game or to the main menu again. However, the video you're seeing here on the screen is from last night on 318. Me and my dad actually got in and were playing for, I don't know, we probably played for about 2 hours and had a pretty good experience overall. The servers were running pretty good. We didn't see any crazy issues. I was taking a abnormally long amount of time to load in to the actual server itself, but I did actually get in. And the game was behaving more or less as expected. One of the biggest issues with the 318 update right now is the ASOP terminals, or really any terminal, whether that be the shop terminals at Cubby Blast, the trading terminals, the ASOP ship terminals. They're all very slow to respond, and if you're not patient, you can kind of lock the terminal up. And the unfortunate thing about that is, if you lock the terminal up, it locks it up for everybody. And there's only a set number of terminals, right? So um, you can kind of see where that would be a problem once all the terminals get locked out at a station, and they're just locked out for everybody on that server until I assume the server resets. But yeah, overall it was a pretty good experience. You can see here we went to do a bunker mission. This is my dad's first night playing, by the way. He picked the perfect update to join, right? But we went to do a bunker mission, and while we were trying to get everything sorted out with the ships and stuff, I completely forgot to bring a gun to the bunker. So the bright idea here was that I would just tractor beam a gun from a dead body that would inevitably be at the kind of the entrance of the bunker there. And sure enough, that worked, luckily. So, because my dad didn't have a gun either. So I grabbed that custodian there, and it's kind of funny. So we push up here, and of course he's still new to the game, so I'm trying to teach him not to shoot friendlies because we all know how that ends. But this friendly runs by, of course, no arrow over their head because those just don't ever work right. And then I see this guy show up here, and I go to shoot him, and he phases into me, so I shoot him, and it just turns into this whole thing. We back off. I try to heal him. Just kind of turned into a little bit of a mess there, but um, uh, this is my example though. So again, this was 318 last night, and everything worked as expected, really. Even the hostiles remaining counter at the top, that's been broken pretty well on and off every time I've played since I've been playing. It, to my surprise, counted down perfectly every time we killed a hostile. The only weird issue I caught here doing this bunker was you can see we stopped in the middle of it and I ran back up to the ship. For whatever reason, the turrets at the I don't know much the outpost here didn't shoot at me when I came in, but then while we were down there, like mid battle, I could hear them going off, which concerned me because the 400i is a tank, but it's not, it can't take an unlimited number of rounds. So I wanted to come up here and check on it just so that we didn't get stranded. And sure enough, it had gotten shot at and took a little bit of damage on the nose, but it was nothing too serious, and the turrets had quit shooting, so I no longer was really worried about it. You can see me checking for a crime stat here from where I accidentally shot my dad, but I didn't have one, so I still don't know what caused them to just briefly shoot at the ship there for a second and then stop. If I had to guess, it would just be probably, I don't know if that would be a server issue, like the server not catching up, knowing that I'm supposed to be there or what. But either way, like I said, it wasn't a big deal. You can see down there on the bottom left, like I said, the front end did take a little damage. They managed to get the left side and front shields down enough to actually start damaging the ship, I guess. But again, they stopped, so we actually ended up just uh, basically going back down in the bunker and finishing the contract. And then so another big issue 318 was having um, early, like when the patch first launched, was inventory was basically unusable for a lot of people. They couldn't access the inventory at all. Those that could, the server was very slow to kind of sync your inventory actions. You would see it just not moving stuff. You'd see stuff move back that you just moved, or just not be able to equip stuff like that. So the inventory was really rough the first few days. But again, this particular night, it was actually working like remarkably well. Interactions with the inventory were pretty much instant. No real delay. We didn't lose anything. Stuff equipped properly. It was pretty solid experience. And again, something that you guys have to let me know in the comments too. I just wanted to bring this up really quick. I don't know if this is new with 318 or not. If you know, please let me know. But this, I did find this interesting. The leave area or you will be trespassing in timer. That is new to me for bunkers. Usually, in the past when you would fly into a bunker, it would either be a restricted area when you flew over it or it wouldn't. And if it wasn't a restricted area when you flew over, then typically you were good even after you finished the contract. You could stay down there as long as you want, more or less. And you didn't have to worry about getting shot at by anybody. But this was pretty consistent. We did 2 or 3 different bunkers throughout the course of the week when we were kind of popping in and out trying the game. And this leave area or you will be trespassing message showed up on every one of them. So I think it's new. And it's nice. I like it. It ensures kind of that you finish the contract and you got X amount of time to grab your loot and go. So I like that about it. It's pretty neat. And if it works, it takes away the what's the word I'm looking for, the question as to whether or not you're actually allowed to be there. So like I said, we finished that mission. Here I am being a loot goblin, grabbing bodies, taking them back to the ship so that I can loot them once I'm away from the outpost and don't have to worry about the timer, obviously. So we load everything up, head into the ship, and this is funny, I got a little greedy, I guess, because I got all the bodies on here like this, and you can see we only have 20 seconds left on the timer. I'm just standing here looking at them and realize, oh, we only have 20 seconds left before these turrets start, mag dumping my ship. So it's just a classic case of rushing to the pilot seat and getting out of there. And I did get shot at a little bit here leaving, but it wasn't a big deal or anything. The shields barely even got hit. So by the time they started firing, we were already far enough away that it was no big deal. But yeah, so sorry if this video seems a little all over the place. I'm kind of trying to bring up some hot points with 318, show you some highlights from our play session the other night, and then go over like what was happening in that particular clip, as well as relating it to the 318 disaster. So another thing that is weird with 318, and I don't know if this is intended, it doesn't seem like it should be, but that flashing HUD you see there when I go in and out of third person on the ship controls itself, that's new and kind of weird. I don't like it. I'm hoping it's just a bug that gets fixed, but I did notice it with every ship I flew, so it's not like it was just the 400i either. And then here, all we're doing is just my classic ritual of sending the bodies I have so gracefully looted off into space, because you have to properly, peacefully, respectfully dispose of the bodies you loot, right? So that's what we did here. I just took the tractor beam, threw them off into the void there to float away forever. Going back to PES though, so in theory, if we got back on this shard ever and I could get back to this exact location, assuming the bodies stopped moving and didn't have some sort of momentum, they would still be there. That's one of the super cool things with PES for me. I don't know why. I just find it super cool that, you know, for the first time ever, I think, in a game, nothing despawns. It's just always there. I don't know. It's just cool to me. Um, and then so after we, like I said, peacefully, respectfully dispose of the bodies, of course, we went to do a deploy probe mission. So this was interesting. It worked. Again, it was another contract that worked fine. Um, but in the past, I've ran into uh, NPC enemies here, and the contract description even says that it's the area you're being asked to deploy the program is known to be frequented by hostiles. So we were fully expecting, a little bit of ship combat here. And I was nervous a little bit just because the 400i is like not great for combat, right? Because it's so big and it's not very maneuverable. But well, that paired with the fact that my dad was on the turret and he was new, I just wasn't sure what to expect. But for whatever reason, there was no enemies here, so this was a nice, quick and easy. We picked the probe up from a station, flew out to the quantum beacon, dropped it, activated it, and got out of there. Nice and easy, no combat at all. Which is good because that mission, that contract only paid like 2,500 alpha UEC or something. It wasn't any money, but it was just I was just trying to kind of give him an idea of some of the stuff you could do in the game, and we didn't have a whole lot of time left at that point, so we were just kind of I wanted to grab a quick little easy mission, and I was hoping that there would be a little ship combat because I wanted him to see that, but there wasn't. After that, he actually had to get off for the night, so we flew back to Area 18. I dropped him off and picked up a Cutlass, my Cutlass Black actually, and went to do a bounty. This scene doesn't show it, but the bounty target was actually down in a bunker, and I flew over and landed and got as far as getting to the elevator in the bunker when I heard my ship getting shot at. So I ran back out, got in the ship, and there were two targets on the on radar, and I like panicked because I thought it was players, right? That just happened to find me. So I flew off to the nearest quantum beacon just to kind of get my bearings because I was just so surprised. And then I quantum back in and noticed it was just AI. So I guess I don't know if this has always been a thing or not, but at least on the blackjack bounty contracts, I guess even if the bounty is in a bunker, they can have buddies that show up in ships that come after you. So I don't know. That's just new to me. I knew, um, when you're going after a bounty that's in space or in the air, you're not having to get out of your ship to chase them. I know it's possible that they can have NPC friends there to assist them, but I've never seen that on a bounty within a bunker like that. So that was new to me. It freaked me out a little bit. What you're seeing here is also a new feature to 318. It's called Soft Death. Soft Death, yeah. Um, and basically what that means is instead of every ship getting blown up when it is quote unquote destroyed, it'll actually basically just move to a disabled state like this one did. And if you're in atmosphere, that's great because you could board the ship and loot the body of the pilot or the crew or kill any crew that may have survived. And then finally, what's nice about that is with the introduction of salvage, you can salvage the ship because it doesn't just immediately destroy it. However, I've discovered that if they're in atmosphere and you quote unquote destroy the ship and it's considered a soft death, because they fall to the ground most of the time, and it's most of the time it's a pretty long fall, they usually like fully destroy on impact with the ground. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. With all that being said though, yeah guys, so this has been my experience on 318. It hasn't been perfect by any means. I know this video kind of makes it seem like it. This was on a Thursday night. We spent Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night trying to get, well, actually, I spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off and on trying to just get to the main menu. And every time I tried, it was just the same thing. I couldn't get in. And then finally, Monday night, I could get into the main menu. So I spent Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night trying to get into a server and actually be able to do anything. There was one night during the week when I was able to get in by myself. I did a bunker. It went smooth. That was around midnight one night. And then the next day, I couldn't get it at all. It was completely unplayable. We got in, but I know I said I couldn't get in. We got in, but you couldn't do anything. Inventory was broken. ASOP was broken. Every terminal was broken. It was bad. So I'm telling you this to tell you that patience. They're definitely working on it in the background. It has gotten drastically better throughout the week than it started. It's still pretty rough. Like I said, we did all of this last night and tonight, which is Thursday night. I said we did all this last night, so that was a Wednesday night. Sorry, my days are mixed up. Anyway, we did all of this last night, and tonight is now Thursday night. So, like I said, over the course of 24 hours, the game has gone back to a you can't even log in state. So, like I said, by no means is it perfect, but it is much better. It's getting better. Please just have patience. They are working on it. Don't think they're doing nothing. They have informed us that there is going to be a 3.18.x patch coming. I'm sure it'll be a 3.18.1 patch that's supposed to help address some of these issues. They said they spent some time this week collecting data that they needed, and like I said, have put together a patch that last we knew was going through QA at the moment before they released it. So honestly, I'm expecting a release for this patch either today, technically, which would be Friday, or maybe Monday. But like I said, they are working on it. Please be patient. It's a lot of fun, and I think 3.18 is going to be incredible when it's done and when it works. But we just got to get there. So with all that being said, that's all I got. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. I'm gonna try to get back into more Star Citizen content. I'm kind of super into the game again, issues and all, and I'm here for it. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have. And yeah, we'll see you in the verse. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.